I've decided to take another road trip up to the north of the UK to go and visit my friend Erica in York. I've stopped halfway and I'm just at a place called Ollerton. So that is just in Derbyshire, I think Ollerton is. I don't know. I'm just following the sat nav. Anyway, I stopped for a bit of lunch. So today I went to Marks and Spencer's, got myself a nice sandwich, and here it is, just here. It's a triple selection, just here. I've got prawn, BLT, and a nice packet of crisps. The journey to York took around about 4 hours from London. I'm staying 12 miles outside of York in a little town called Easingwold. So here she is. This is who I've come to see, Erica. She's giving me a tour of Easingwold.
It's a Georgian town, surrounded by the Howardian Hills.
Howardian?
Yes.
Or Edwardian?
Howardian.
Howardian Hills, okay.
Place of natural outstanding beauty.
And it's lovely, it's very nice actually. There's a pub just down here as well. It's got my name on the door. After a nice relaxing pint, it was now time to meet Mike, who's a local bonsai tree expert. I've met this really fabulous, interesting character, and I want to share him with you, to be perfectly honest, because he's got a very enthusiastic collection of bonsai trees. I'm joined with Mike. How did you get into this fabulous collection?
Just from my love of nature, really, and my nan always taught me how to grow veg and stuff, and just it went from there, really.
So how long does it take you to trim a tree like this?
Just depends how much growth I've got in and how much you want to take back, and depends on the trees, really.
I thought bonsai trees were trees that came from Japan and they were specialist bonsai trees, but we've got oak trees here. We've got trees that are made out of rosemary over there. Can they be out of any kind of tree?
The limitless are endless, I suppose. I don't really know, because depends what climate you're in, and definitely look at what trees are growing in your local climate.
Just tell me, if there was any kind of cutting you would want to take off a tree to turn into a bonsai tree, what would it be?
Well, I've started with hawthorn, but I'd definitely go on to the wild pear.
That's that tree over there?
Over there.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to come back in 5 years after you've taken a cutting from that, and we'll make another video. Fantastic. Great having you on the show.
You'll owe me $5 for the cuts that I'm going to take for you.
That's another story. Ta-ra, babes.
And you, man.
So today, the plan of action is I am going into York to have an explore. Now, the weather is going to be a bit rainy. It's going to be on and off. But yeah, I'm all set, ready to go. I've got all my rainproofs and everything else. Okay, we're getting the bus into York today, and oh, it's very small writing on here, I've got to say. I think the bus we're getting, Erica, is 10:30, isn't it, my dear?
10:30 into York proper.
So how long does it take?
40 minutes. We go around all the little villages. It's gorgeous.
Fantastic. Well, I look forward to it. So we're here at a bus stop, waiting to go to York. Parking in York isn't very good apparently, so hence the reason why we're getting the bus in there. The bus journey took around about 45 minutes. You go through all the nice little villages and you get a good view of Yorkshire on the way in. So we got off the bus just on the outskirts of the city centre because we're going to have a quick look in the Railway Museum. The place is huge. So when I say quick look, doubtful it's going to be that quick. Because Erica likes to look in every single window, don't you, girl?
Yeah.
I'm excited. The last time I went to this Railway Museum, I think I was about 7 years old. And I remember it took us a good day to have a look round. But today it's a little bit, it's a whiz round because I want to see all of York and get a feel for what York has to offer. And hopefully end up in an LGBT bar for a nice tipple a bit later. You might have to prize me off the seat, Erica.
Okay. I'll do my best, Richie. Right, let's cross.
So Erica's being tour guide today. No, it's on the right. It's quite industrial here. You can see by the buildings. Now, it is free to get in here as well, which makes it even better. You excited?
Yeah, I love trains. Choo-choo!
Well, that's kind of scuppered our plans a bit because you can only pre-book at the moment. We are in the middle of the pandemic from Wednesday upwards, and the place is closed.
So we'll book something tonight.
There's a lot of disappointed people outside. The walk into York City took around about 25 minutes from the Railway Museum, and you get some great views of the city and also the river. I'm in York, not New York.
We're at the cat gallery. Everything inside is about cats, so we're going in.
And you like your cats, don't you, Erica?
Meow.
This is great, you can actually do a cat trail all around York. So on some of the buildings there are cat statues in different poses. It's fantastic. So you can pick up one of these maps, okay, the York cat trail for various different shops, or just Google it online, it's easy.
A catalogue.
And she's got a catalogue. You found some cat goodies, didn't you?
Yeah.
She loves her cats. So when you do come to York, this is one place you have to head to. You can't miss it. It's slap bang in the middle and it dominates the skyline. It's York Minster. And what an amazing building it is as well. Just look at the architecture here. Just in case you're wondering, I'm not sort of like on the gantry inside. It's actually a picture. This is what it looks like inside here.
This is a miniature city of the city of York, and everything is within the city walls. And Richie and I later on will be walking around all the city walls and we'll get some great views.
That's if we get prized out of a bar.
Yeah, well, yeah, there is that. It's gorgeous.
So we're going up to the top, to the wall, which goes all the way round the inner city of York. Erica, it's like your dungeon at home. So we've got some great views of the Minster over here, and just think back in the day, all the soldiers would have been up here on this sort of like a walkway protecting the inner city of York. If you want to walk the wall, it's completely free of charge and there's lots of entry points along the way. Because of COVID, we've got to walk round in an anti-clockwise direction, so everyone's actually walking in the same direction rather than crossing past people on the way, which is quite a good idea. So on my right, this is inside the city walls, and on my left, this is outside the city walls. Now, apparently, if I was to buy property inside the city wall here, it's worth 3 times as much as property outside the city walls. So it is regarded, if you actually have property inside the city walls, then you're thought to be very wealthy. If you look very carefully down at the bottom of the wall, particularly in different sections, you'll see what looks like an older part of the wall. Well, it is because it dates back to the Roman era. This was a Roman wall down there. We certainly walked our little legs off and also worked up a big appetite. So it's time to try some traditional Yorkshire fare. This is a Yorkshire pudding with a Sunday dinner wrapped up inside it. So I've got vegetables, stuffing, roast pork, all the trimmings, and some potatoes. I'm actually really hungry. So here it is. So the Yorkshire pudding. A Yorkshire pudding with all the trimmings inside. This is a Sunday dinner. These are really popular here in York. Erica swears by them. It's really tasty.
Hello.
Do you want to buy it, Erica?
No thanks.
It's lovely. Fabulous. I do like my Sunday roast. Those of you that know me I do like my Sunday roast. So to have it as a takeaway, it's fabulous. I've heard of this before. I saw it in Rupert Street in London. There was a market stall that was doing these. Very nice. York is regarded as one of the most haunted cities in the world, and here we are at Diagon Alley. Well, it's not really Diagon Alley, that was in Harry Potter, but this was used as a setting. Apparently they filmed some Harry Potter here. This is where he bought his wand, wasn't it?
It's the shop with the
Down
name,
here.
or the shop that will not be mentioned. Oh, look at this man.
The shop that will not be mentioned, or is it the shop with no name?
Yes,
What's it
something
called?
like that. Here's the another Christmas shop.
The castle that you see just here is Craig Castle. It is, there are people that actually live in it at the moment, so it is actually a house. You can't actually go there and visit it and look around it, but it is beautiful, isn't it? The hill itself doesn't look that steep, but I have been told it's an absolute killer of a hill. And we're on bikes today, so I'll let you know how I feel when I get to the top. We're now walking up the hill that the Grand Old Duke of York marched up, and all his men. And I've got to tell you, it's knackering. It's definitely worth climbing up the hill because you get some amazing views of the Yorkshire countryside. Well, sadly, that brings me to the end of my 3-day road trip to Yorkshire. If you've enjoyed this video, please do click on the subscribe button at the bottom of the screen, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.